Hey guys, Jared with Tier 1 Concealed here. Today we're going to talk about ways you can acquire your red dot quicker. I'm going to show you some things that I do. There's a lot of different ways for people to accomplish this. Everyone's built differently, so this isn't like the end-all be-all. This is just something that I do. So we'll cover all of those different things right now. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to go over, I've got my Glock 34 here, so no magazine. We're going to check that, make sure that we're clear. So, having your red dot mounted, I also run backup iron sights that will co-witness through the glass of the optic. That's in case you have a dead battery or something, you need to rely on a backup sighting system. Some people will run their rear sight in front of their dot. I have this particular setup. I don't, it's up to you whether you like that idea or not. But I run mine on the back on this one. So when you're starting out shooting and acquiring the red dot, some people will use their iron sights as a reference to bring the dot in, meaning that when they present, they'll come out tracking that front sight and bring it onto the target, and that will drop the dot in from 12 o'clock. That's one way to start establishing that presentation to bring that dot into your window. Okay, ultimately guys, getting on the dot quick amounts to repetition or practice. It's much like playing basketball. If you want to get good at making free throws, you've got to go out there and develop that touch, that feel, how you release the ball, your follow through. All of those things matter. Develop that consistency so that you can pick up the dot. Okay, the other thing to consider, or not to consider actually, is if you are left eye dominant or right eye dominant, left-handed, right-handed, none of that will matter, as you'll just bring the dot up into your dominant eye. So that doesn't matter if it's the left eye or if it's the right eye. So both eyes open and bring the dot up to whatever eye you would like. Okay, so another really important factor into being able to acquire the dot quickly starts at the draw. So everything that you're doing here, which you can do dry at home, is every time you draw the gun and establish that master grip and present, the more everything is exactly the same every single draw stroke. So what I mean by that is that when you go to get your gun one time, that you're not a little too low on it and you're teacupping it, and the other time you're high on this but you're kind of low and weak on your support hand side. So if you have any inconsistencies in your draw, it's going to make it harder because you're changing the way your gun is going to be aligned when you bring it up to your eye line. So doing everything at home with getting those reps, which is draw, present, and it drops in, and you bring that up to your eye line. Anytime you introduce anything that's a little inconsistent, meaning like added movement and then trying to meet that dot by ducking your head in the middle, all of those things are going to potentially mess with your ability to bring that dot into the window. So consistency, the same grip, same draw, same presentation, and that's something you can work on in your house. So with the current ammo shortage, that's just free training that you can get right there. So when I start, I'll present and just try to smooth things out at first. If you're new to it, don't worry about setting any land speed records. So get that good grip, present, get that good master grip. And like I talked about, if you want to use that front sight as a reference as you're driving out, I can see it in my peripheral vision, and I bring that out and then drop the dot in. Eventually, that will become unnecessary because you will have that same consistent grip and presentation to the point where that dot is just there as you present the gun. And that's going to come through repetition. Okay, so another thing to consider is it's referred to as the 90-10 rule, or whatever different ratio of percentages that you want to go with. But essentially, when you come up and you present, you can get really quick from the holster up to about here, and as you get towards the end of your extension, you want to smooth things out, right? You don't want to jolt and then potentially lose your dot in there. So as you come up, you want to get things presented in a way so that you can hit the brakes, and that'll allow you to maintain your dot in that window as well as refine your sight or that dot on whatever target as it relates to the size of the target and the distance and everything. So obviously there's some targets, if you're this big and your dot is just this little thing right in the middle and all you care about is hitting in this circle, you can be a little bit sloppier. You know, the dot could be kind of up here and you're okay to send it, you know, if that's all you care about. So wherever you want that impact is going to dictate how much refinement you do to steady up on that target. So as you present, you'll draw and then kind of hit the brakes there at the very end. You don't need to get premature either, where you come up super fast and then present really slow like that. So, but like I said before, this all starts in dry practice, where you can smooth out everything to a comprehensible pace, meaning that you're processing your grip, that master grip, the presentation to where the dot's there. It's okay to go slow and get all of those things lined up in a row, and then you can slowly continue to add speed until that dot's in your window there at that full presentation, and you can steady it on the target. A lot of people who shoot iron sights will tend to either close their non-dominant eye or to squint it in order to not have that competing view with your eyes trying to focus on the iron sights. You don't need to do that with the dot. You're only capable of seeing that dot with one of your eyes. So it should feel a lot more natural and comfortable to keep both eyes on the target and bring that dot up and place it onto the target. So keep that in mind. You need to have both eyes open when running a red dot. Hopefully some of this helped, and I'm just going to do a quick recap. So in my opinion, you can take this, and if you don't like anything, feel free to throw it out. It won't hurt my feelings. My opinion though, that consistency in your draw and gripping the handgun and presentation to your eye line is going to give you the consistency to start hitting the dot. If you want to start out, use the sight, the front sight in your peripheral vision as a reference to keep the bore driving to the target, and drop that dot in at 12 o'clock. Don't rely on the iron sights, because you're going to start messing with your focal plane because you're looking or trying to focus on sights. The beauty of the dot is you don't have to do that. You can actually focus downrange at the target or the threat. So that can be just a temporary visual aid to help you in getting that presentation dialed. The repetitions will help you put it there subconsciously, so to speak. But after that, just work on that speed and presentation and bringing the dot into the window at home. Take it to the range, go ahead and confirm it from there. Other than that, have a great day. I don't really have anything else.
Like, subscribe, let us know in comments.
Oh, like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments if there's any other questions that you guys may have, whether it be holster related or shooting handguns, whatever we can do to help, let us know.
We'll see you next time.